Hey, what's up, guys? John here. Small business owners are going through a very, very big challenge right now, and the data is suggesting that these challenges are likely only just beginning. The same for the economy. The economy is going through something that's going to be very unique and interesting and probably unlike anything we've ever seen before in history. What we are seeing right now is unemployment numbers that they're saying is 3.5% in September. They just came out, 3.5% in September. So when we look at this, it's a historic low. This was the same for January in 2020. However, when you look back, even in a good economy, 2016, 2017, it was in the 4% range. Even 2013, 8%. 2013, the economy was not horrible. It was okay. You start to look at these numbers, it just shows they say that this economy is just in great shape. And what I believe is very likely going to happen here is going to be increased interest rates over the next couple Fed meetings, which I think is going to really put the pressure on small business owners. Now, here's what I see happening in my own life, in my own business, in my friends' businesses, because it doesn't match up with what they are saying. And maybe we're just the exceptions to the rule. So it says U.S. jobs rise while unemployment drops, keep pressure on the Fed, right? And they're saying that a market sees a 75 basis point hike in November. By the way, please hit the like button. Hit the like button. YouTube's going to share this content to educate more people about what's really going on. So I myself am a small business owner. I have a couple businesses, and I would love nothing more than just to hire people here. I would love nothing more. The experience that I've been having is unique because 2-3 years ago it would have been so much easier to run that business as a small business owner. And when we look at everyday Americans, our whole country is supported by small business. A majority of jobs are supported by small business. Over 30 million small businesses in America. And so when you look at what a traditional small business is going through right now, just hiring basic labor, basic help, a barista or a waiter or any type of easy service-based job. Easy from a perspective of like easy to get into the job, not easy as in the work is easy to do. Like it's just an entry-level job. These entry-level jobs, they have a high level of turnover, making things a little more challenging for business owners. But what I'm seeing is I've had maybe 3-4 interviews with people that I thought I was going to hire over the last 60 days. Every single one person completely lied about their resume. After 3 or 4 days, they were basically exposed for it. And then they just vanished. That was an interesting scenario. Another situation, one person wanted $100,000 a year for secretarial work. Another person said they were going to show up for the meeting. They texted me 10 minutes after the meeting, never showed up. And other people, said that they're so interested, really excited, and then they just vanished. I even posted, job applications on my story on Instagram and on my community tab here on YouTube. And it's gotten tens of thousands of views. Only one person applied. One person applied. This is what's going on right now in the labor market. It's hard for small business owners to get in front of the right employees at a rate in which small business owners can afford. For example, one of my buddies, he has a real estate hedge fund. He's doing extremely well, very, very well, tens of millions of dollars in assets under management. He's doing a great job. And even this person, is still having a hard time making the numbers work on a secretary, just because the money coming in from his businesses after all the expenses paid, there's not enough money left over to pay for all of this expense with the secretary. It's over about $8,000 a month the secretary wants. So you start to factor in the cost of what it really takes today to operate as a small business. Let me give you like a really easy way to look at it, because I think a lot of people just think that these business owners can afford it. Let's say, for example, that you own a small business and you just have 3 employees. That's it, 3 employees. Each employee, you're paying $5,000 a month, which isn't huge. That's kind of like a couple of years ago, that is what you probably would have paid for 3, employees. Now that number is probably closer to $7,000, right? $7,000 a month, maybe $6,000 a month. We'll say $6,000 for easy math. That's $18,000 a month just across 3 employees. Then you factor in office, you factor in utilities, you factor in Wi-Fi, the phone lines, you factor in workers' comp and the expenses associated. You're looking at probably $25,000 to $30,000 a month in hard expenses, $1,000 a day, $1,000 a day. So you ask yourself, what kind of business would make $1,000 a day? Well, let's say, for example, you sell a product and you have a 25% profit margin. That would mean you'd need to sell $4,000 of that product every single day just to meet the expenses, just the expenses on a daily number, right? So you have to sell, $120,000 worth of product monthly to break even without paying yourself a single penny, right? And this is all happening at the moment in time where everyday Americans are going through hell economically, because as they continue to increase interest rates, which they should do, but as they continue to increase interest rates, the cost for small businesses are going up. Consumers, they're sitting on record high consumer debt, $1.2 trillion in credit card debt, $1.6 trillion in auto loan debt. Things are horrible for the everyday American because the debt is so heavy. And as interest rates rise, the cost to service that debt's going to get more expensive. And what's ultimately going to be the net result of that? There's going to be less people that are going to just be able to stick in one job. They're going to try to do side hustles and doing everything that they can do. There's not going to be any loyalty to an employer simply because they need to make good on their own expenses, right? And so what's going to likely happen, it's going to get harder and harder and harder for small business owners. Now, I wish that I could simply just hire everyone here in America. That's what I wish, but I can't, because if I did, I wouldn't really make any money. When you factor in everything, like scaling out a real team here, 10, 20, 30 employees, you do that in America and you're paying them each $6,000 a month, between $5,000 and $8,000 a month. And, managers, you start to really put in big numbers, you start to really see how expensive it is. And that's the sad reality, because you look at these companies, Facebook, and you look at Amazon and a lot of these big companies, what they are doing is they have, tax shelters and other places. They are, closing down offices. They're closing down, for example, Yelp just closed down their headquarters in New York City. Facebook is doing the same thing. Airbnb, they're saying work from home. They're doing all this to reduce their expenses in a way in which is going to be very lucrative for them as they begin to outsource more and more and more talent overseas and reduce their expenses through, office footprint, lawsuits, all these things that are prone. They do come when you have a business. If you have a business and you have 10, 20, 30 employees, the odds of you not having a legal problem in the course of a year or 2 years, almost zero. I had a buddy, really good friend of mine, I've known forever, and this guy sold vitamins. He sold vitamins, and he would always be in between 5 and 8 lawsuits at a time, whether it be through customers, whether it be through employees. People would even sue him for, the lunch break was 10 minutes too short. They would just come up with things, and every single time what would ultimately happen is they would go into court, and then they would have to try to settle. But he would end up paying tens of thousands of dollars in legal expenses just to get to that point. And so you start to look at what these small business owners are going through. And by the way, he was running a really clean operation, but people just, they saw the money that he was making inside of the business, and they were just trying to pursue him. And when you have a company like Airbnb and Facebook and these other companies, when they close office locations, what are they doing? They're reducing the likelihood that there's going to be lawsuits. They're reducing the likelihood of increased expenses with that office. They are reducing the likelihood of competitors forming inside of the company and going out and doing some other startup. They're taking full control and really separating every single person from other people in there, which gives them even more authority and competitive advantage inside of the niche in which they're operating, which is, social media. So this is very strategic for them. But for the everyday small American business, you ask yourself, what would this actually look like? For them, they're going through hell and back. And I promise you, it's only going to likely get harder for these small business owners in America. It's going to get so much harder. And that's why the unfortunate reality is that, of course, everyone would love to hire in America. Of course, everyone would love to, go back to the way that it was 5 years ago, business-wise. But if you look at the actual economics and the actual fundamentals, what is likely going to happen is that the small business owners that can exist in the next 5 years are likely only going to be able to exist throughout leasing or buying robotics and incorporating that into their business model so they have stable labor, stable cost, and they can drive down their cost to a level in which a consumer can afford, as consumers are getting really priced out and the middle class is getting evaporated. It's a sad reality, but it's the fact. It is what it is, right? But smart entrepreneurs, they know this. Smart entrepreneurs are adapting. I am just simply saying, they say that it's 3.5% unemployment. How can it be 3.5% when the everyday small business owner is going through everything that I just explained? It's very, it's very revealing, because if that's 3.5%, they're going to continue to increase rates. I'm telling you, the real unemployment number is definitely going to be going up. Let's just put it that way over the next year or so. If we continue down this channel of increasing rates and moving in this direction, what do you think about this? As a small business owner, I'm sure you either work for a small business or you own a small business. What has it been like for you operating your small business over the last year, 2 years, 3 years? Have you been going through an uphill battle? Tell the experience down below so more people can, kind of get a clear idea of it, because I feel like that story is not really shared. And I think that's a story in which we should all have a conversation about. Share it down below. Let's have a conversation. Subscribe here. Subscribe to my second channel as well. It's an interactive call and show on a podcast. Also on CashNow.Video's YouTube channel. I'm going to be posting a lot of content there. It's going to be a really, really cool channel. So if you're interested in personal finance, credit cards, getting out of debt, bankruptcy, all those, we're going to be covering everything related around credit repair and helping people get on their feet and get off a mountain of debt. So if you're interested in that, CashNow.Video is the channel. It's also in my channels tab on this main YouTube channel. LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok up in the banner. If you need help fixing your credit, we would love to help you at CashNow.Video. Your credit card will not be charged until after you get a free consultation, and we really build out a roadmap for you and share with you exactly what we're going to do. One really cool, unique thing about CashNow.Video is that you get to track your entire progress, everything. So you have your own dashboard, and you'll be able to see the letters that are going out, the work that's being done every single day, and you'll be fully up to date 24/7. You'll have your own account rep. I mean, it's really great customer service. So consider us at CashNow.Video if you're looking to improve your credit score. If you'd like to make money from home, CashNow.Video /money. Join the Discord channel, and I'll catch you guys later.